There was no shortage of stunning collector vehicles wearing the iconic blue oval badge, claiming top positions at Barrett-Jackson's 2024 Scottsdale Fall Auction, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Now, notable among them was the charitable sale of a 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse with 100% of its $700,000 hammer price benefiting Samaritan's Purse. Other standout Fords on the auction block included breathtaking GTs, custom-built Broncos, and expertly crafted Restomod Mustangs. So let's take a look at the top 10 Fords presented by Meguiar's that captured the highest bid at the world's greatest collector car auction. Tied for 10th, we have a 1967 Mustang Eleanor Tribute Edition, a stunning fastback with a 351 cubic inch Windsor V8 under the hood. All right, up on the block, a 67 Mustang Eleanor reproduction.
In the original Gone in 60 Seconds, a movie that was produced, financed by, and starred stuntman actor Toby Helicki, the star car, the Mustang, looked nothing like this. It was a much later generation. It was only in the recreation of the movie that Eleanor came into her own and became quite a star.
This just sold for $200,000, this 1960 Ford Mustang Eleanor Tribute Edition.
Sharing the 10th spot is another classic, a 67 Mustang GT500E with a 725 horsepower supercharged 427.
Next is a 1967 Ford Mustang GT500E, the E for Eleanor, one of the last original supercharged cars completed by Unique Performance and Chip Foose under license from Shelby.
Even though it was built some time ago, probably 15, 20 years ago, they did pick a great power plant, the 427, with a supercharger and 725 horsepower.
$200,000 is the hammer price.
Rolling on to number 9, we have a custom-built 1960 Ford Starliner that was nicknamed the Scarliner. With a Ford GT-derived 5.4-liter supercharged V8, it had 550 horsepower.
This is the car we've been waiting for as well, one of the top customs of this auction, a 1960 Ford Starliner that is nicknamed Scarliner.
So the current generation Ford GT uses an EcoBoost V6. The previous 2005 and 6 Ford GT used this supercharged V8.
One gentleman on the block talking to a potential buyer. That gentleman represents buyers, so his job is to convey exactly what's going on and work with that bidder's assistant. And we've got somebody else up in the skybox nodding his head no, but let's see. Away it went. The gentleman on the telephone.
A rugged yet stylish 1972 Ford F-250 custom pickup comes in at number 8. This 4x4 stunner was powered by a 7.3-liter Godzilla crate engine.
A 1972 Ford F-250 custom pickup truck.
So it was powered by a 7.3-liter Godzilla crate engine and a modern 10-speed transmission tuned to over 500 horsepower. Well, I misspoke. When I saw a 7.3-liter, I assumed it's a diesel, but I think it's just a big gasoline engine on this one, which, fine choice, a big crate motor, and the modern solid axle. You see the coilover suspension, so all the right upgrades. Wow.
And looking underneath, boy, it looks just as nice underneath as it does on top. It just sold for $212,000.
7th place on our list of the top Fords from the Barrett-Jackson Fall Auction is a 2023 Ford Bronco DR race truck, one of only 50 ever built.
Up on the block right now, something pretty cool. In 2023 Ford Bronco, the current bid, $180,000. New generation, wild custom. Yeah, similar to the way they were selling Ford GTs, you actually had to go through an interview process. You had to be hand-selected by Ford if you were going to be able to purchase one of these DR race truck Broncos. This one just got a new owner, $235,000.
Time for number 6. It's a 2020 Ford Shelby GT500 Code Red. The engine in this thing pumps out 1,300 horsepower on E85 fuel.
This next car is very, very special. It's a Shelby Code Red.
It is built front to back, and it is one bad boy. 1,350 horses,
A large roll cage added to it as well, with the rear seats deleted. And this one's been driven some 1,900 miles on it. So it's been used and enjoyed a bit.
Well, and it just sold here at Barrett-Jackson for $255,000 for that 2020 Ford Shelby GT500 Code Red.
Hopefully you're enjoying our recap of the top 10 Ford sales from the Barrett-Jackson Fall Auction. Make sure you like and subscribe down below so you can watch more. At number 5, we have a very rare 1970 Mustang Mach 1, but this one is a Twister Special. Only 9 were built that have both the 351 cubic inch engine and the 4-speed manual transmission, and this one is the only known survivor.
Here's on number 756, specialist update on the 1970 Ford Mustang Mach 1 Twister Special. Now this is one of only 9 350 cubic inch 4-speeds produced with the Twister Special package.
I'd had to get down, what are you paying? $300,000. I'd had to get down 3 on it, but I had to get down 70, I'd had to get down 20, 30, 40, and 290, and $290,000 on it, down, but I had to get 85 with Jody, and now 90 and a half. Sold for $285,000, Jody.
Moving on to 4th place, we had a 2006 Ford GT, midnight blue and powered by a supercharged 5.4-liter V8.
A 2006 Ford GT up at the block right now.
Well, speaking of low miles, I just checked 872 on the odometer of this one. So another like-new sports car, but this one from Ford.
My high school buddy Bruce Daly bought one of these new, and he's put over 30,000 miles on it. Just loves it.
390 and 390 and a half. Sold for $385,000, Jody.
It's podium time for our top 10. Taking the 3rd spot is the 1968 Mustang Eleanor Tribute Edition. This movie-inspired build had a 750 horsepower Rouse supercharged Coyote engine.
Of pepper gray on this 1968 Ford Mustang Eleanor Tribute.
This one, a fresh build, 750 horsepower coming out of the engine that's underneath that hood. Made it up to a 6-speed manual transmission.
Just incredible. Yeah, the base of the design is a 67 Shelby GT500, but this has obviously been modernized, done up, and whoa, there we go.
And with 3 hits of the hammer, auctioneer Shane Ratliff sells that one for $410,000.
At number 2, we have a legendary 1969 Mustang Boss 429. Had its original matching numbers engine, and it was Wimbledon white, one of only 857 built.
Up on the block now, a 1969 Boss 9.
Well, it's nothing less than the greatest Mustang ever. Ford wanted to homologate the Boss 429 engine for NASCAR, but for some reason they chose not to put it in the Ford Torino they were racing in NASCAR, but rather to shoehorn it into the 69 Mustang.
Yeah, we just tied as the #1 seller of the day, and I have a feeling it's not done yet. We'll see. Yes, it is now the #1 seller and still moving. $420,000 for a 1969 Mustang Boss 429.
And finally, the king of the fall auction at number 1 was a 2019 Ford GT. The color, liquid red with carbon fiber options. It's a modern supercar, and it only had 35 miles on the odometer.
We got a Ford GT rolling up behind it. This one's from 2019, and this is one of our fantasy bid cars. Hopefully you're playing the game.
Liquid red paint on this one. That is a factory color. The stripes were extra. Great interior. Some of these have carbon fiber wheels. This one does. And that was an expensive option.
You saw the doors go up with that beautiful interior. But yeah, 2019, but basically undriven, 36 miles.
Now, when the embargo was first lifted on these, they sold at $1 million plus. They have eased a bit, but they are still selling for well over sticker, and even at $800,000. I would call that a good buy.
Thanks for tuning in to our top 10 Fords presented by Meguiar's from Barrett-Jackson's 2024 Scottsdale Fall Auction. Make sure you click here or even over there to see more auction action.